point of performance training, which is basically a technology in which you use the QR code to launch a video. So how does that work? So typically, I am aware, although my LMS does have this feature to be able to put up a QR code, within the system, and with the same mobile application used for the LMS, you can fire this. But even if you do not have technology like this in your LMS, they are very, very easy to create. All you need to do is put up a video behind a QR code, and you can put these QR codes anywhere in places where people might need some information and they don't know who to ask, and you just are making this step completely automated. There is no dependency of a guru or a ustad to come and show how a training in this or how performance in this area is done. So let me show you some of the examples and some of our use cases where we've helped our customers using this technology. So one thing I will talk to you about is that wherever you have a big plant or a facility or a big area in which performance happens, so it could really be a factory area where different type of activities are done at a specific part. So you can have certain posters put out there with the QR code. People can put up their phone next to it, and guess what? The training starts playing right then and there. From the way I see it, it's pure magic. Why? Because you are not dependent on a person to be present there to take this new hire through that training. Somebody forgets 4 or 5 points of what I was to do. Was I to do this? What are they to also change oil in that car and also tighten up some screws? I'm unsure about that. So let me do this. Let me ask this other ill-informed person who's going to feed me wrong information. So, all those variables that make our lives completely miserable because of all the human error that happens on ground, a lot of that gets taken care of if you're just able to put up these informative posters about what to do in that area on a poster and give people the mobile phone through which they can read that QR code and attend to that training right then and there. I will show you some of the examples from some of our work. We work with different oil companies, and these oil companies have major distribution, 55,000 pumps across India. How do you ensure that the guy who's filling up the air in that wheel is aware of what are the steps to do it and what is the best way to greet the customer and things like that? How do you ensure that? It's manually through Excel. It's impossible. Companies have done it, they've failed at it, and they have resorted to technology. We've helped big companies create this kind of a training format where posters with stuff like this, which call out what that specific training it is that you're going to learn. If you just put up their phone next to it, will play out. So there are n number of trainings that we have created. It's a completely automated system in which you can keep creating trainings from a central location, and it gets dispersed out through that mobile app to all people on ground, across 55,000 locations can happen. So important trainings like a fire has broken out. Now what do you do? So the first reaction is, who knows how to handle the fire extinguisher? So maybe Ramesh knows how to use the fire extinguisher. Guess what? He's not come today. So now what happens? So in that panic situation, what if there was something that people could just quickly see in that 1 minute and say, okay, the first thing to use in the fire extinguisher is pull up this top cap and press this button, and it shows you exactly what to do, where to do what, and how. It's life-saving, guys. It's completely life-saving. This technology is a fantastic technology. So consultants, training leaders who work with organizations with sparse route distribution, or who have facilities where performance happens, and that also in specific areas of facilities. Another example is a big car servicing bays. So each service bay within a car servicing setup would do a certain activity on that car. So what kind of activities are there that happens if somebody is new, or you want to constantly iterate that this is what we are saying, or these are the new processes that we are following at this area that you need to keep in mind. You can just go crazy with developing these posters so that it creates a visual reinforcement, and then giving the ability in the people's phones to just fire that QR code and look at what new management is saying to them at that area, about that area. So things like that, the way I call it, the point of performance training. So like I said, you don't need my LMS, you don't need any specific technology to make this work. It will be a slightly longish approach, but you can put all of this together without anyone's help. All you need to do is get a QR code generator and then link that QR code to the training content you want to show, and then paste that QR code on the poster that you will now put up at various locations. And there you go. You have ready point of performance training using video modality.